Sandy looks at Danny and she says, "You better shape up because I need a man.
Yeah.
I need a man who can keep me satisfied. You're the one that I want, but you better shape up." She says it right there.
And he says, I better shape up.
Yes, he does. And he has that yeah. That's exactly what he does. I'm Stevie Norman. That's Austin Kopp. And it's 15 minutes to places.
Synced up. Yes. It's 15 to Places, and I am here with Stevie Norman, who is one of the directors of Opera House Productions' performance of Grease. Stevie, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I have some questions written up for you that I have.
Yes.
You've been a stage manager, an actor, a costumer. You've done improv, you've done opera. This is your first time directing a musical. So have you always wanted to direct a musical?
Wow, when you put it all out like that.
You sound really impressive.
Or that I can't make up my mind. I have not always wanted to direct a musical or anything, actually. The desire to do that came as I went from production role to role to role and found out more about what happens to make a show happen. Mm-hmm. I started costuming in college because we had the philosophy drilled in of if you don't know what happens to make the spotlight, you don't deserve to stand in it. And I've lived by that.
I like that a lot.
I do too. Just you should hold respect and awe for everything that happens in the theater for all positions. So it was a gradual build from there, like, oh, how does this work? How does this work? How does this work? And the curiosity eventually led me to the point of, oh, well, how does directing work? Oh, that's interesting. And then it's more not a desire to direct, it's specific story related.
Specific story related meaning like this story in particular, or?
This story in part, there's a few. I think most directors have like that list of like, these are the gems.
Yes.
Not to say that I wouldn't other things, but those were the things that went, I want to really nail down how to do this because these stories I think I could bring something to. And Grease is one of the top 3.
I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of said it a little bit, but why Grease? There's a lot of people who have seen it or performed it or have watched the movie, but like, why? What's your vision for it? Why this version of Grease? What makes it pop?
There are 2 questions in that. One of them is why I wanted it, and one of them is the story that I want to make sure comes through with it.
Yes.
The reason I wanted it and have a connection to Grease was I had a very dear family member that we lost almost 10 years ago now, that she had brought me to see Grease, and it was the first live show I saw.
Oh, wow.
And it was incredibly formative, just not on a content level, but on a, wow, what's this on the stage thing. So I've always had a deep emotional connection to the show because of the positive memory of going to see it with this loved one. Yeah. And then we talked after about the problems that there are in this libretto. And Mike, co-director Mike, and I had a lot of talks in the beginning about how are we going to dispel all that. Because I have a very strong vision of this show that everybody looks at Grease and says, oh, the show where the girl changes for the guy? Nay. No. Good. If you really look at the lyrics and the show, first to understand, right, so Grease was written in 1971 about a story in 1950.
Right.
And it is a giant middle finger to the Leave It to Beaver age, to this sanitized idea of what made the nuclear family and what women were supposed to be, what a teenager was supposed to be. And so it was meant to be a juxtaposition to the idea of the housewife, the perfect children, and the path they would take. And there's raw stuff in it that kids still encounter today in high school. The bullying, the sexuality questions, the the interactions they have with their teachers, the heading out into the world. This is happening in their senior year.
Yeah.
So it's very important to Mike and I that when people view this show, they really see Sandy and they don't see a naive, innocent little girl. That's not what's important.
Right.
She comes off timid because she just transferred schools her senior year of high school.
Yeah.
And she meets these very strong women who are very confident, very out loud about their sexuality and that they even have sexual feelings.
Oh
I know. And so you'd be kind of reserved too going in this situation. She's only 18. She's having her first love.
Yeah.
Her whole world's upside down. So of course she's kind of like, I'm feeling the waters out. But by the time we get to You're the One That I Want, which we have included in our script, Sandy looks at Danny and she says, you better shape up because I need a man.
Yeah.
I need a man who can keep me satisfied. You're the one that I want, but you better shape up. She says it right there.
And he says, I better shape up.
Yes, he does. And he has that yeah. That's exactly what he does. But you'll see moments in the show where Sandy's not shirking away from things. She's got a spine. You just have to be able to approach it knowing, like, it's just a kid. And it's hard when you're looking at a show that was written in the 70s. So you have the 1970s lens looking at the 1950s. And now we are 2026 lens looking at the 1971s looking at 1950.
Yeah.
So, that has
layers
been...
and layers.
It's layered.
Yeah.
It's layered, but at the essence, I think it just boils down to they're just kids.
Yeah.
And they're going through the same stuff kids in high school today go through. Figuring out who you are, who you like, what love's about, and heading off in the world. So that's really what Mike and I wanted to make sure was portrayed when people come see this show.
I can't wait to see the show.
Yeah.
How you describe it, I can't wait. Is there a scene that really speaks to you in the show?
Okay, yes.
I'm shocked.
I know. You're also 100% going to know what character it is because I am who I am. Well, there's two. The first one, there's no good reason for, but the opening number, Grease,
Okay.
it just tickles my brain, and it is an earworm that has been stuck in my head for 20 some odd years. Which is why our merch says Grease is the word. But I love that. That being said, as a character actress that's come from a very dramatic world, Rizzo holds a dear place in my heart. And there are worse things I could do, though many, 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 many people's favorite songs, is one of my favorite moments. Not only because our Rizzo is out of this world.
Stellar.
Yeah, well, the whole cast is ridiculous.
It's a stacked cast.
It's ridiculous. Right. Mike and I sometimes look at each other in rehearsal and go, how'd this happen?
How do we do that?
How'd we get these people? So, beyond how beautifully it is sung, that is the most vulnerable song in the show. It is a bully looking at her victim, in a sense, and saying, I'm doing this because I see me, and you are what I don't like about me.
Yeah.
And it's who's not had that moment of, I see what I don't like and I don't know how to change it. And that song is that pivot moment for Sandy to finally say, why am I just not being me? Why? Wait, I know what I want.
Yeah.
So I love that scene.
I just want it to be the show already. I want to see it. What is something amazing for you that you didn't realize directing would bring about?
Oh, golly. There is a satisfaction to watching something, now that we're at this point, get on its feet.
Yeah.
And watching all that craziness that you've had in your head, all the back and forth, like Mike and I at midnight, like, okay, this scene. Da, 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 da. Now that we're getting close to tech and things are starting to stand and the actors are taking it and becoming these characters, and they're off book and they're doing what we had in our brains at midnight, going, will this work? There is a satisfaction to that though I knew, like, it'll feel nice when they do it, when you experience what you've been dreaming about for a very long time, for me, particularly with this show. And like my vision of who these people were, where they are in this world, and it's real now, that's been pretty cool.
That's incredible. I love that so much, Stevie.
Yeah.
And the last question that I ask everyone is, what are you doing 15 to places?
Well, as you said, which role? So for this show, 15 minutes to places is probably going to be back with the actors with our final check-in. Like, y'all ready? And then being like, let them do their thing, and going out to the audience. 15 minutes to places will probably be me just sitting vibrating. It's happening. So, yes.
Excellent. Well, again, Stevie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. You got to see this show, and it's 15 to places.
Yay.
Yay.